There's this moment that I keep coming back to. I was in a tiny consignment boutique in Paris, and it was the kind of place that you'd walk right past if you didn't know what to look for. Tucked away in the back was this gorgeous Hermès Kelly, and I asked what year it was from, and it was from the 1960s. It was in pristine condition. It was that bag that you always dreamed of. I remember thinking, how is this still here? Like, how does no one know about this place? And that's the thing about vintage luxury. The most incredible pieces are hidden in plain sight, but scattered across these boutiques all around the world. In Tokyo, in Milan, in Paris, and New York. Boutiques run by experts who have been spending decades cultivating these incredible collections that most of us will not see. Today, I'm sharing why I'm building La-lignee, an online curated vintage luxury handbag marketplace connecting trusted boutiques around the world to collectors like us. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I have been pretty much obsessed with handbags for as long as I can remember. But it's not just about the bags themselves, it's about the stories, the craftsmanship, the way a single piece can carry decades of history and yet still be relevant today. They're timeless. When I started making these videos, initially this was really just to have a creative outlet. I created this space to share what I was learning, what I was discovering, what I was falling in love with. I never imagined that this would turn into a community of people that care deeply about these pieces just as much as I do. But what I started to notice is that many of you would message me asking, where do I find vintage that can be trusted? How can I shop and know where to look for authentic pieces? How do I find the ones that are actually rare and not the ones that you see people carrying every day? And honestly, I didn't have the right answer. I had an idea of how to find them online, but the truth is the best vintage luxury isn't online. It's tucked away in these boutiques around the world, and they're run by people who have dedicated their whole careers to curating these incredible collections, but they don't have the reach to find you, and in turn, you don't know how to find them. That disconnect kept nagging at me until one day I realized if this doesn't exist, then maybe I need to create it. So let me paint the picture of where we are right now. The secondhand luxury market is booming, and it's only growing. More people than ever are looking for pre-owned luxury, and that is really telling. It means that the stigma is gone. In fact, it's the opposite now. Buying vintage is the smarter, more sustainable, and more interesting choice. But here's the problem. Most of the online options fall into two camps. On one side, you have the peer-to-peer platforms. Anyone can list anything. You're scrolling through thousands of listings and you have no idea who you're buying from. And then questions arise. Is this authentic? Is the seller trustworthy? Playing those questions in your head over and over again, it becomes exhausting. For something that costs thousands of dollars, that uncertainty really isn't acceptable. But then on the other side, you have these big consignment platforms. They buy everything themselves and then they warehouse it, they authenticate it, and the experience is more polished, but you're paying for all that overhead. And more importantly, the selection is homogeneous. It's the same bestsellers, the same safe choices. The rare and story-driven pieces, they're not making it onto these platforms. And meanwhile, there are over 25,000 consignment and vintage stores in the US alone. Thousands more in Paris, in Milan, in London and Tokyo, run by true experts. People who can tell you the difference between a 1985 and a 1995 Chanel flap. These boutiques have the pieces that we're all searching for, but they're invisible online. Their incredible inventory is only accessible to those that are located in their vicinity. That's the gap that I'm really trying to fix, trying to close. La-Lignee is a curated vintage luxury marketplace, but it's not like anything you've seen before. We're not peer-to-peer. Every piece on La-Lignee comes from a vetted, trusted consignment boutique, professional sellers who have built their reputations on curation and authenticity and on expertise. And we're not a traditional consignment platform either. We're not buying inventory and then warehousing it and reselling it. The boutiques keep their pieces and then ship them directly to you. So we're basically the bridge. We're bringing their collections together onto this one beautifully curated destination. Think of it like this. Imagine Farfetch or My Teresa, any of those that connect you to boutiques that carry new luxury pieces, but for vintage. One site, one destination, one seamless experience, but instead of current season runway, you're discovering a 1970s Gucci bag from a boutique in Florence, or a limited edition Chanel from a consignment shop in Le Marais in Paris. The name La-Lignee means the lineage in French. And that's because honestly, this is what it's about. The stories that these pieces carry, the lineage of craftsmanship, of history, of the hands that made them and the individuals that carried them. Furthermore, what makes La-Lignee different is first the curation over volume. We're not trying to list everything all at once. We're working directly with each boutique to curate a very select number of pieces that belong on La-Lignee. We're looking at rarity, condition, the story, and that's really the criteria for being on La-Lignee. Secondly, we have trust built into the platform. You're not buying from a random shop or individual. You're buying from established boutiques with reputations to protect and decades of expertise. And we vet every partner before they join our platform. Third, you have global discovery. A collector that lives in LA, for example, can find something from a boutique in Paris that she would have never normally found otherwise. We're basically unlocking inventory that's been geographically trapped. We're helping these independent boutiques thrive. Small businesses, experts that have really dedicated themselves and their lives in this world. They get access to a global customer base without having to build their own e-commerce operation. Some may have websites, yes, but this is something that can help them on top of all that. And that's important to me. I want to be able to support and uplift small businesses. And yeah, it's a partnership. So the next thing you might be thinking is, why me? Why now? Well, I've been in the tech industry for, almost 20 years. And more than half of that time has been spent on technology that focuses on improving the customer experience. How do you take something that is complex and make it simple and seamless? How do you build that through a screen and create moments of discovery and delight in this digital world? That's been my career. Now I'm bringing that expertise to something that I'm genuinely passionate about, because La-Lignee isn't just about loving handbags. I mean, obviously I do, but it's about solving a real experience problem. The technology exists to connect boutiques and collectors globally. What's been missing is someone who understands both sides, how to build a platform and why these pieces matter. And the timing feels right. The secondhand market is growing faster than traditional luxury. More people, especially younger shoppers, are choosing pre-loved, not just for the price, but for sustainability, for uniqueness, and honestly for the thrill of finding something that no one else has. The demand is there, the supply is there. What's missing is the connection between the two. So where are we right now? Well, we have built our app. It's a web app that is also accessible on mobile, and we are now actively onboarding our first boutiques in New York City, because that is where I'm based. And then the plan is to continue to expand that to Paris, Milan, and beyond. The pieces are coming together. It's really exciting. And I would love for you to be a part of this from the very beginning. If you believe in what we're building, then I'd love for you to join our waitlist. You'll be the first to know when we go live with our first launch. You'll be helping to shape what la-lignee becomes. The link is in the description below, so check it out. It takes 10 seconds to sign up for the waitlist. I've also created an Instagram for la-lignee, which is Lignée Luxe, where I'll be sharing behind the scenes of the journey, the boutiques that we're partnering with, and the pieces we're discovering, all of it. I want to say something before we go. This community, you, made this possible. Every comment, every message, every conversation, all of that showed me that there is a real appetite for something like this. That I wasn't alone in caring about the stories and about the heritage behind vintage luxury. La-lignee isn't just a marketplace. It really is a space for people who believe that some things are worth preserving, worth carrying forward, stories worth carrying. That's what this is about. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in this with me. And I can't wait to show you what's coming. So thanks again. And I will see you on the next one. Bisous.